Hello, I'm photographer Rob Holly. Welcome to my studio. This is a follow-up to the previous video I did in my review for Thumbtack.com. I've been promising you guys a follow-up. Everybody's been commenting whether Thumbtack.com is actually a legitimate lead service or if it's actually a scam. In the first video, I had some success with Thumbtack and had used their service for approximately 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, and had booked one client in that time, and I'd spent approximately $60 for a $400 photo shoot. It was just a corporate headshot in studio with 3 to 4 different looks, if I remember right. And the client actually lived very close to my studio. She came to the studio. I did her corporate shots. We even dressed her up a little bit, had provided hair and makeup for her, did some beauty shots. And if you saw my previous Thumbtack video, she was the client in the pictures at the end of that video. So the video's done pretty well on YouTube. As far as it's been a lot of comments, a lot of people going off on Thumbtack is a scam, scam, scam. They haven't had any luck with Thumbtack. And then it's about 50-50 because there's several people that have had some luck with Thumbtack. So I'm going to give you the follow-up to where I am with Thumbtack. It's been a few months now. Gosh, maybe about 6 months, maybe a year. I don't even know. I'd have to look at the video when I uploaded it. But I can tell you that at this point, I am no longer using Thumbtack. I had some success with them, and I actually picked up a couple more clients. I picked up a client out of San Francisco doing some storefront photography with a client called storefront.com. It was kind of low end, but it was kind of one of those things. It was a filler that helped pay the bills. It was really easy. You just drive around to these different locations, I think they wanted 15 photos of each location. I usually gave them like 35 because 15 to me was just not enough to be driving all over LA. And but I enjoyed it while I did it. It didn't really pay very well. They paid like $45, $75 a location. And if you've driven around LA, for those of us from Southern California, fighting LA traffic, you have a window. It's like from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. you don't go anywhere. And then from 2:30 p.m. till 6:37 p.m. you don't go anywhere. Because if you do, you're stuck in gridlock. So I just want to stay in the studio. So that was another one of the customers, but it was another customer that I did book through Thumbtack. So I did have a little success with that company. I probably did, gosh, I want to say 10 locations. So that's $450 minus the gas. So I probably spent $150 on gas, so $350. I did one location that they paid me $75 for, but it just really wasn't. It's one of those really low end things that you don't want to get caught up doing too much because it takes away from your creativity and it takes away from booking and concentrating on booking higher end clients. So the other thing, the reason that I actually quit using Thumbtack altogether was I don't know what happened. I don't know if I ran out of a limit, if it's an algorithm in the Thumbtack software or their website, but their leads started really increasing in price. Like when I first started out, I think I was paying usually in between $3.33 to maybe $5. Every now and then on a wedding or something, I think it was $6, which I didn't try to answer too many of those leads because I don't shoot too many weddings. I have one booked right now, but I don't shoot a lot of weddings. And they're usually for people word of mouth or people who know how to get a hold of me personally. They can talk to me personally to book their wedding. It has to be somebody I'm really comfortable with before I'll shoot a wedding. I don't do a lot of weddings. Do more commercial photography, product photography, those kind of things in studio. But I don't mind doing weddings. It's just a lot of work. And so anyway, yeah, the leads just went through the roof. Like they went up to like $8, and I submitted one that was $16. Now it's granted, it's based on how much the gig is. So a $400 photo shoot is, that was $4 or something, $6 or something like that, $3. But for a $4,000 or $5,000 shoot, you were looking at paying $12 to $16 for that lead. The problem with that is it's Vegas gambling, baby, because 16 bucks is quite a bit of money to shell out for a ghost lead that you have no idea whether you're going to book it or not. And I actually did pay for some of those high dollar leads, probably about 10 of them. So you're probably looking anywhere. I was paying, I think, about $8 to $16 for those leads, if I remember right. And I didn't book any of those. So really quick, I expended or I ate up the profit that I'd made with Thumbtack, and that's the way I was using Thumbtack was just like Vegas. You know, I was at the mercy of the house, but you know, as long as I was breaking even, I was going to keep playing. But as soon as I felt like I was really coming out of my pocket and it wasn't looking too promising, it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, and I just kind of backed off of it, and then just continuously. And then they quit sending me as many leads because I guess I wasn't as active. I wasn't purchasing as much. So as soon as I quit purchasing, their algorithm noticed that. So I started getting less and less and less leads. So honestly, I can tell you there are some legitimate leads. I can also tell you is there's a F load of competition. So if you're not at the top of your A game, if you're not one of the best on Thumbtack, I'm talking about the 1%. You're always hearing that number, the 1%. If you aren't the 1% in your industry, I don't care if you're a locksmith, a carpenter, a plumber, whatever. If you're not A1 on your game, you're going to lose to the A1 people that are answering those leads on Thumbtack. It's just the nature of the beast. If you're starting out, or if you've only been, let's take photography or videography, for instance. If you've just started out and your reel is, you know, a couple of little promo videos that you and your friends put together, and that's your reel, and you're up against legitimate Hollywood media companies, a couple of them or 500 of them that might be answering those leads too, you're not going to have a chance in hell. You're going to be shelling out money, shelling out money, shelling out money, shelling out money, and you're never going to get anything. So you really got to be in the top of your industry. And the problem with Thumbtack is you're at the top of your industry and you're bidding on low ball bids. A lot of low ball, you know, people just shopping. They don't know if they really want to do it, you know, and shelling out 16 bucks for something that somebody's not serious about. I had one lady that booked me when I was in San Francisco. I was up in San Francisco, and there was a fire up there on Mount Diablo, and I was covering that fire. I was driving all over up in around up in Northern California, and I actually visited family up there, and I ended up cutting my visit with my family, and it's a 9-hour drive, 12-hour drive from LA, Long Beach, downtown Long Beach. To where I went, Redding, California. It's about a 12-hour drive. So for me to drive all the way up there, you know, this is a long drive. And then I had a lady contact me on Thumbtack, booked me on Thumbtack, but I didn't take any deposit. You can't really take a deposit through Thumbtack, which is what I do, a non-refundable deposit. If you book my time and I take time out to come to meet you, then you're not going to get your deposit back if you just flake out. So what I did was she legitimately booked me, met her through Thumbtack, and I corresponded with her, and she was a very nice lady. She was said she was excited to work with me, and so I cut my vacation short, or my visit with my family, and headed back to LA. And about 6 hours, 7 hours into the trip, on a Friday, I was going to stay till Monday, but I left on Friday morning to get back to shoot her on Saturday morning. And Friday about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I got an email that came through my phone, and it was her canceling the photo shoot. And I was already 7 hours in, you know, headed back south towards LA. So couldn't turn around and go back to Redding. So anyway, that left a bad taste in my mouth. But the thing that left the worst taste in my mouth was, I can tell you honestly, there's no way 100% of their leads are legit. And if you look at the comments in the first review video I did of Thumbtack, there was somebody that mentioned in there, and I mentioned in the first video there was another company that used to send out a lot of bogus leads. And somebody mentioned in the comments on my first review of Thumbtack that there's a lot of weird names, like Indian names and stuff, that was coming through in those leads. And whoever that was, I can't remember who it was, or I'd give you a shout out. You're dead on. There are a lot of weird, strange names that just doesn't make any sense. With that being said, the lady that I did book for Thumbtack was of Indian heritage from the country India, not Native American, and she did have one of those weird names. So I just took it, at first that, well, maybe there's a lot of Indian people on there that are looking for photography. And, I booked her, but then, I answered a few more of those. But the other thing was, is I did get some correspondence in some of those weird names. I mean, I had people that I talked to through the Thumbtack service back and forth, even though I didn't book the stuff. So I know there is somebody answering, and I don't know if that somebody is somebody working for Thumbtack. Don't know. I just don't know that people were answering some of the correspondence and a lot of the work that I didn't book. So all in all, what am I going to give Thumbtack? I will give Thumbtack a D+. Last time I gave them an A because I was really excited about their service because I didn't put out very much money and got a pretty quick return. Got a customer pretty quick within a week. So I was pretty excited about Thumbtack. But that pond kind of dried up, especially when the prices went up in regards to the shoots, the pricing on the shoots. And when I'm paying $16 for a lead. My advice to you, Thumbtack, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, you sent me a thing in my email asking if I wanted to be featured on your website. So you can watch this. If you want to feature me, holler. I tweeted you guys, did a lot of things. I never heard anything from you until about a week ago. I got a thing asking if I wanted to be featured on your website and to get a hold of Amanda or somebody with Thumbtack. So, you guys are killing it, but it's not really honest the way you're killing it. I think you're going to kill yourselves in the long run. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, is just make a lot of money and jump and get out or sell to Facebook or something and make a few billion. I don't know. But my advice to you is if you want to do this legitimately, and if anybody out there is a programmer and wants to come to me and we can do this together, somebody needs to build a real Thumbtack, a real site to where you get leads, but you don't actually pay for the lead until you book the lead. So once you've booked the lead and you've been paid, then Thumbtack gets 20%. Thumbtack gets 10%. Thumbtack gets 5%. That way, the people aren't losing money that are trying to make money. So you're kind of preying on people who are really looking for work, which that is me. I am a full-time photographer trying to keep a studio open, and that hasn't been going very well lately, and I haven't been getting a lot of work. So that was the reason first I looked into Thumbtack. And I can tell you, it's hard to keep shelling out money out of your bank account for leads that you don't know for sure are legit. So that's all I got to say. In the comments, there was people that had a lot of luck with Thumbtack, people that just thought it was a complete scam. What do I think? Honestly, I know there are some legit leads coming in, but I think they're mixed with a ton of bogus leads. I think you got about 70% bogus and about 30% legitimate. So you've really, because I could actually read into the details and kind of figure out what leads were real and what leads were that looked to me like they were bogus. One of the things was the weird names. Ashma Alababa. Who the hell is that? You know what I mean? And are they in this country? Because I've never met an Ashma Alababa or a Rananan Sumarari. Who are they? I've never met them. So I got a lot of those through Thumbtack, hundreds. And when I had my, the alerts on, the alerts came in, I'm telling you, like 5 an hour, 24/7, 7 days a week. There's no way, no way. I don't care, in your area, there's no way. Even though I'm in LA, the second largest city in the United States, I can tell you there's no way there's that many people looking for photography every single hour of the day. There's just no way. You know what I mean? So, Thumbtack, you need to get your act together. You've got an absolutely gem of an idea if you'll just quit being crooks about it and make it legitimate. Charge people, get a percentage for what they book. You know what I mean? You'll still make a killing and you'll really be helping people instead of taking money out of people's pockets. They probably can't afford it. You got a lot of beginners on there in the industry who are putting money into this thing. And like I said, if you're not in the upper echelon, people, the 30% of legitimate leads aren't going to book you. You have no chance. If you've been a photographer for a year and you're just learning how to operate your camera and you're bidding against me, I have a full studio. And you're working out of the back of your Chevy Chevette. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? And I'm the upper echelon, like the Chase Jarvises and those. They are the upper echelon. I'm here. So I'm still trying to compete against those guys too. But I have a better chance of competing against those guys than you that have just got your little, D5100. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's what I'm filming this on. I love my little D5100. So for video. And, it is what it is. If they hadn't went up in their prices, I would have probably never stopped using them. But when their prices started skyrocketing for leads, yeah, that was enough for me. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Look back. Check out the website, photojunkie.com. Just hooked up with photojunkie.com, and I'm going to be doing some vlogging for PhotoJunkie. So check out photojunkie.com. Check me out at Twitter, Rav Holly. Facebook, Rav Holly. Check out our company page, Rav Media Group, LLC, on Facebook. Instagram, Rav Holly. And that's it. Peace. If you have any comments, information about Thumbtack, if you're killing it with Thumbtack, let me know. Comment down below. Or if you think it's 100% scam, comment down below. Let me know, because I do read those comments. It may take me a couple of weeks, a month, but I read them and I go through all my videos and I try to answer anybody that leaves a comment that is asking me a direct question. So anyway, guys, thanks, peace, chicken grease. Have a good day, guys.